Hi everyone, welcome to an episode of Lunch Money Comics. My name is Mike. We have another day of hunting comics, looking for bargain deals, comics that have been lost or forgotten, hidden treasure if you will. Today I'm going to be heading to a couple of indoor flea markets slash antique places that are nearby. I've been many times before. They do have some comic books that are, dollar bins, things like that. But I have found some gems there in the past, and you never know what's going to be there. So let's see if we can find something good, and I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so here we have a whole bunch of comic books that I've checked through in the past, but they do have some new stuff right off the bat that I see. The good thing is too, not only are these really cheap, they're all like $3, $4, $5, but there's also I think 20% off everything here. So yeah, hopefully I can find some good stuff in here. Let's see what we get. There's lots of Wolverine here, lots of Ravage 2099, lots of Wonder Man actually. I'm not seeing anything really amazing quite yet, but I just got here. So I found something here that I really like. I like these old Marvel Masterpiece comic books here. I have the cards, but I really like the fact that they have these comic books that have each page is a different card. So this is pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna get this. Now this one's pretty easy. I know Mask isn't really hot right now, but there is a collector's market for these masks. And you see here, there's a free mask inside. I think I'm gonna have to open this up and see if it's in there. Oh, look at that. Cool. Yeah, this is in really good shape too. I think I'm definitely gonna pick this one up. Oh yeah, that's a cool cover. Especially the old Wolverines. Sometimes just a Wolverine, the cool cover of Wolverine sells. I think it was here. I actually got a Wolverine number 27. It has a really famous Jim Lee cover. And yeah, I got it for like $3. And then I found out, yeah, just because of how cool that cover is, it goes for like 25, 30 bucks. So you never know, especially with Wolverine. Everyone loves Wolverine, right? Ah, so close. Oh, we get some slab stuff up here. Star Wars number 3 at a 9.8 CBCS. 60 bucks, interesting. Oh, we got a Vader. Okay. Interesting. What do we get down here? Oh boy, okay. We're gonna have to kind of go hands-free here for a bit. I'll put that off to the side. First full appearance of Bishop. Put that off to the side. John Carter, cool. Yeah, we get some Bronze Age Superman. It's pretty cool. I'm on the fence about this one because it's got a pretty good spine roll on it, and I already own several of them. This one I'm going to get just because it's from the 50s and it's not in great shape, but it's cool. Keep looking. I almost missed a box because we got a Cabbage Patch doll on top. Don't want to miss this. If you see a Hulk with a red cover, you stop and look, don't you? Okay. That's cool. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's the first new team of X Factor. Might be worth a couple bucks. Question is it worth $3? Don't know. The answer is no. I already have this one anyways, but that goes back. And now I'm gonna look up this guy right here. And a Supergirl. Some magazines and there's some comic books. Yeah, a mixed bag here. Let me look at that one. Ooh. All right. Let's interesting. There's some I have to look some of these up. Itchy scratchy. Wow. All right. So this one here. I mean, it would be cool if it wasn't so beat up. You see there's a lot of damage here, so I'm not really interested. The Eternals 8 is a minor key. It's cool. It's got Athena and Chrono on the front. But the one that's really surprising is this one, because this one here is the minor key, the first appearance of Nate Summers, aka Baby Cable. So, gotta have that. $6, sure. Comes there. All sorts of fun stuff in here. That's my target today. Now these ones are not cheap. Most of these have been marked up quite a bit. So there might be some good stuff in here, but I'm guessing I'm gonna have to pay for them. This is a very interesting box. It's only 2. What's that? What is that? Now I know this is a cool book, and it goes for some pretty good money, good condition. I'm not sure it goes for $35 in this condition, but I'm gonna have to think about that one and look it up. All right, so I looked through all these books, and nothing in there was as cool as this Voltron. Now I looked it up, and it can go anywhere from $30 all the way up to pushing $100. But the thing is, just like every comic book, it's all about condition. White covers are tough. You can see how dirty it looks, but the thing that scares me is this top line here, top edge. So it's really cool, but I don't think it's worth the $35. There's no money to be made, and I wish it was in better condition if I wanted it in my PC. Might as well leave it behind. I know where it is. All right, so I got my comic books here. $20, got a whole bunch of good stuff. I will show you guys when I get home, but right now I get a little bit of time to hit one more antique place, so see you over there. All right, I got a few minutes before this place closes. It doesn't look like it's really busy, so hopefully I get some little bit of time and find something good here. really bad. What do you see in there? All right, got a couple comic books I'll show you in a second. Got it for about 10 bucks, and I also realized there's a little bit of a flea market behind this antique store, so I'm gonna go check that out. I didn't notice till I walked out, but there's a cool X2 movie poster up there. That's pretty neat, actually. All right, no comic books in there, but some comic related stuff at least. But yeah, well, I think all we had to do at this point is drive home. That's all the time I have to really go picking today. But I got some little pickups, nothing too huge, but let's go back to the house and see what I found. Okay, here we are in my comic book room slash game room slash Dungeons and Dragons slash music room studio slash office space. Yeah, so I went to 2 places. Well, a little sneaky about that. I actually went to 3, and I'll explain that in a second. But you got to see 2 different places I went, and I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 comic books, and I spent a total of $30. Now, the whole point of this YouTube channel is, despite the fact I'm a pretty big comic book collector, when I was a kid, I was pretty poor. My family didn't have a lot of money, but I loved comic books so much that I would try to raise money, and I would collect cans and things like that. But the big thing I would do to try to get comic books is I would starve. I would go to school with my lunch money, and I wouldn't eat that much lunch. I would just kind of get a cookie or like a bagel, and I would put the rest of the money, the extra change I didn't spend, into my backpack. And then at the end of the week, hopefully I had a couple dollars worth that I could ride my bike to the local comic store and buy some comics. So Lunch Money Comics was the name I thought of because I started my comic book collection in the early 90s, basically just on lunch money. So let me just show you what I got. To this day, I'm pretty proud of using, little bits of money here and there, a couple dollars, not spending a ton of money to get comic books, and I love the thrill of the hunt. So all of these are pretty cheap, as I'd like to point out, and I got them for less than the sticker price, so I want to point that out. So the first comic book I want to show is this. So this is a Marvel Masterpieces comic book, and this is art by Joe Jusko, who did the first series of Marvel Masterpieces, I believe. I have the set of Marvel Masterpieces, Series 1 and Series 2. They're in that album back there, along with all my other Marvel cards. And I'm a big Marvel fan, and the reason I like these for 2 reasons. One, each page in them is a different card in the Marvel Masterpieces series. So instead of having just a small card, you have yourself a nice big page you can show. And as you can see on my wall back here, I don't put expensive comics at all. I put cool looking comics. And this cover here of Spidey is killer. So this is going to go up there, absolutely, and that's why I got it. And that seller was having a discount on all their stuff, so this ended up costing me like $2. So all day, no problem. The second one I got, same place, different box, was this X-Men 283. This is the first full appearance of Bishop. X-Men 282 is actually the first appearance of him and the first cover appearance of him, but it's more of a cameo. He only shows up like on the last page. So this is the first full appearance of Bishop. I have several of these already, but for a price of $3, I don't mind having another one. It has a little bit of a weird roll to it. It's kind of hard to see, probably from the camera, but it's not actually a roll. It actually was sort of misprinted that way. It just has a really strange wrap. So besides that, it's actually in really good shape. And again, for a couple of bucks, I don't mind having this comic book, having another one. Bishop's really cool. The X-Men are coming back. I don't mind at all. I'm a big X-Men fan. Speaking of X-Men, I also found this guy. So this one ended up costing me the full $6 you see on the sticker. This is X-Men 201. I thought it was cool. It had Storm and Cyclops battling out for leadership of the X-Men. But what makes this one really cool, and I didn't know this till I looked it up, it's also the first appearance of baby Nathan Summers, who everyone should know ends up growing up to be Cable. So in a lot of ways, this is the first appearance of Cable. For those of you who don't know, Cyclops was kind of a jerk back in the early 80s. He had, after Jean Grey died, he married her clone, Madeline Pryor, and had a baby. And that baby was Cable. And then when Jean Grey came back to life, he basically just ditched his wife and kid in Alaska and went back with Jean Grey. So I'm actually curious to kind of go back, and I actually kind of want to read this one and just see how his family life looked in Alaska before he was just completely an absentee father. So very cool comic book. Again, for $6, I thought it was pretty cool, being an X-Men completionist and all. Next, here's a really strange one. This is The Mask Returns, number 1 of 4, with a free mask inside. So again, I got this at a discounted price. The mask was in there. Very, very neat. It's in really good shape. I also got this because I have another one in the series. I think I have number 2 or number 3, and I think I might have found it at the same place. And I was surprised when I got it that it was worth like 20 or 30 bucks, depending on condition. I don't care about the mask at all. I'm a Marvel guy. I don't care about them, but some people do. And the art's really cool. It's kind of gory and creepy. And I think there's enough of a small niche market for the mask that if the movies ever come out, they ever do a remake, that's better than the god-awful last one they did, it might go up in price. Again, it was really cheap. It's interesting. It's got a really cool cover to it. It has a mask inside. So I thought it was neat. It's worth a couple bucks. All right, so this one here, this is Bugs Bunny number 420. It's a 10-center. This is from the 50s. I had the year in my mind before I started filming. I already forgot. But this is from, I think, the early 50s. And it was a couple bucks. Bugs Bunny and the Mysterious Buckaroo. It's in really bad shape and actually has the stamp twice of someone's address on here. Don't know why. But it's a really cool Bugs Bunny cover. And although I am, again, a big Marvel Marvel collector, and I am not really into the Golden Age stuff so much, especially the DC stuff, I do like old Golden Age books if they present well. Again, bad shape, but it's a cool Bugs Bunny cover, and it was a couple bucks, and I just felt like getting it. Speaking of old, interesting things, I found this bad boy right here. So this was sticking in the box with a whole bunch of other comic books. I wouldn't really call it a comic book. It's comic book sized. It says Where There's Smoke, and it's from the American Cancer Society. So this is almost a thing they might have handed out to kids to tell them that smoking is bad for you, which is a good thing to do in the 60s, but I don't think it really helped very much. Everybody seemed to smoke back then. But I thought this was pretty cool. I'm not sure what year it is, so it's just really interesting. So, yep. So it's the American Cancer Society, 1965. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And, hey, look at that. Hey, look at that. Wow. Yeah. What a surprise. There were actually 2 of them in there. So this only cost me a couple bucks, too. I did look this up. This one has some writing on the back. Diane. So I ended up looking this up when I was in the store, and these were going for like 20, 30 bucks each. And I just got 2 of them for $3. So, hey, that's pretty cool. I got 2 of them. This one's not as nearly in good shape. It's got some folds here. I'm curious about this. I got this more of as a novelty because I thought it was kind of cool and an interesting talking piece. But I got 2 of them. Huh. Cool. Even better deal than I thought. All right, that's interesting. That goes in my sort of oddities pile. Next one I got was, and this is from the second place I went. This is Excalibur number 1. So I have several of these comic books because I love Excalibur. I'm a big X-Men fan. Again, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was a big X-Men fan. But I was a really big fan when I was real little of like the Claremont Byrne runs, and I was a huge fan of Nightcrawler. So when Nightcrawler left the X-Men to form Excalibur, I was there for it. I love Excalibur. This cover is really cool. This isn't actually their first appearance. That was in a special edition that was done by Claremont, which is almost like a graphic novel. Very cool. I have a couple of those as well, but this one here, just a great comic book in and of itself. I got it for $2, so really cheap. I have multiples of these, including ones that are in really, really good, like 9.6 and up shape. So I don't need this one, and I'm gonna give it to my son. So my son has his own little collection of comic books, and whenever I can find some cool like keys or minor keys that he could add to his collection, I snag it for him. So for $2, My son can absolutely have Excalibur #1. Very cool. I'll buy that comic book all day for $2. Okay, the same place I found some comic books that were in behind a case, and they were all pushed to the side. I couldn't really see them well, but I saw part of a comic book that I absolutely recognized, and it was the webbing on this comic book right here. So, as most of you know what this is Spider-Man 1, done by McFarlane, and there were 3 different covers. There was a gold cover, a silver cover, and this, I think they call this the green variant. Looks more yellow to me, but sure. This is the Spider-Man 1 green variant with the Todd McFarlane little scroll on the bottom. I got this. This was listed at $10, but they had a 20% off vendor. So I ended up getting it for $8. And not a great deal. I mean, you can find these pretty cheap online, but this one's in excellent shape. Fantastic shape, actually. I haven't taken it out of the bag yet, but it looks really good. And for $8, yeah, I'd do this. I'll absolutely do this. And despite what I said about growing up in the early 90s and Spider-Man and McFarlane were huge, I actually don't own this book. One of those weird flukes. I have every other big marquee Spider-Man book that came out in the early 90s. But I don't have any of the 3 variants of this one. So this one is probably going PC. So $8 for a personal collection Spider-Man comic book. Very cool. Absolutely. The last one, and you guys did not see this on your on the filming I did, because there was one more place I wanted to check out. It's a small kind of like Pokemon card, coin collectible, magic card, D&D type place. They have some comic books, and I like to check it out every once in a while. And it was almost closing time, and I didn't want to like take the time to take the camera out. I rushed in. It felt kind of weird too. It was just me and the owner, and I didn't want to be like taking a camera out and narrating. So I didn't expect to find anything because his prices on his comic books are usually right at retail, maybe even a little higher. So I've only found a few things there over time, but I wanted to look. But I did find something interesting for $5. This is Darkhawk number 45. It's not a key. It's Darkhawk, bad character from the 90s. Again, personal place, small place in my heart. I do have Darkhawk #1 back there in a box. But who cares about number 45? Why does it matter? It's because as Darkhawk was going on in that series, after he kind of premiered in 1990, I believe, people stopped really reading Darkhawk. And I think there was a run of 50. And what Marvel did a lot back then, especially everyone knows, is they were kind of going into bankruptcy by overproducing comic books. When there was a title that wasn't selling well, they started to restrict the number of copies that they printed. Well, Darkhawk, that was especially so. Once you get up into the 40s for Darkhawk, the number of printings that Marvel did drops precipitously. And these books are rare. Even though nothing really happens in them as much as I know, they are incredibly rare. And so I knew as soon as I saw the number 45 out of a run of 50, I kind of wanted to grab it. I bet you $5 was a good deal. I did look it up, and they sell, I saw how much selling recently in the last month for $20, even up to $30. For people who are trying to finish their runs of Darkhawk, I'm sure you guys are out there. I'm sure you exist. They need these issues. They do, and they look for them, and especially in good shape. And that was sort of the kicker for me. This is in excellent shape, probably because nobody reads Darkhawk and they never cracked the spine on this. So, yeah, Darkhawk 45. The best part about this book is I don't really care about it. A lot of these other books go in my personal collection, or I'm giving to my son, or maybe there's a minor spec, when I go out and get these comic books, like the X-Men comic books. But this one I don't really care about, and I don't think, Darkhawk's coming to the MCU or anything. So the good thing with this one is I'm just going to resell it. This one I could probably put up. I'll put up for $20. Hope it goes for that on eBay, and then I'm pretty much pay for this whole stack of other comic books that I got. So I'm happy with this one. I'm happy with $5 for a very low print run Darkhawk. I think I have a couple more even later than this one. Maybe I can bundle them together and try to sell them as a lot. So that's pretty much it. So that's what I do. I will have other videos, I'm sure, talking about my bigger stuff in my collections, about how I've acquired those things. But basically, this channel is about how I am trying to sort of on the cheap go for a hunt of rare and interesting comic books to add to my collection and also invest in. So I'm hoping if you're like this channel, you will stay tuned into it and check out my journeys throughout New England mostly, hunting down rare, cool, interesting comic books on the cheap and presenting them to you guys. So enjoy the hunt. If you like what you saw, please
feel free to like the video. I would love it if you subscribe. Therefore, you get all the updates of whenever I get to go out, which is quite often, and look for this stuff. So till next time, I hope to see you in my next video, and keep hunting.